We're skipping the studio and looking at these bad boys that really don't need much introduction in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. That's right, I've got them. For North America, for Europe, you guys have already picked up some of these guys. The Glocks, the Umarex officially licensed first out Glocks. Now we're looking at the ones for North America, and they were a little delayed due to some quality control changes. So these are actually been a little even updated from the European versions. So what I have in my hand are the first two that are going to be landing in the United States for North American sales. We have the Gen 3 Glock 19, we have the Gen 4 Glock 17. I can actually say the Glock word. This is so great in a video. So anyway, what we're gonna be doing is doing a full breakdown review of these. These are the final production samples, these are the final pieces, even orange tips included, ready to go. That'll be releasing here in the United States at the time, or pretty much really close to the time that you're watching this video right now. So let's start externals on both of these and go to internals. There's actually some differences under the hood, and we're gonna dig in outside first. So starting with the externals, it's gonna be kind of the same in some things, so I'll use both for you. Metal slide, metal upper, mostly metal pieces all up here on the top part, and except for like the front and rear sights, and of course the orange tip. Outer barrel is metal, this part right here that goes all the way up into here. Slide is metal, magazine release or slide release is metal, as well as the takedown bar, and then of course everything else is polymer pretty much on the way down, including magazine release and all that. Metal magazine in here as well. The G19, of course, is the shorty, and then the G17 is the long one. We're gonna talk about it, the 17 here in a second. Also, we're looking at markings here. I'll try to get on the light for you. You have the officially licensed Glock logo, 19, Austria 9x19 here. You also have a 9x19 on top. You've got the serial number that matches on the barrel, and on the slide, it's the same on every single version because that's actually not the real serial number for this gun. The serial number for your gun is right here on the silver plate. And then of course the requisite warnings and all this. That's why this is the final version, not the pre-production samples that we're looking at. You've seen floating around in reviews all over the internet. This is actually a review of the final one, probably the first one on the internet if I had to guess. But like I said, bottom is polymer. Polymer looks really good. Glock logos right here on this side. It does say officially licensed product of Glock on the side here, so you know you're getting the real one, not the Smyrna, Georgia, which is usually right here, that part right there. So this one does say the officially licensed. And of course, the warning at the bottom is the Umarex required warning, which you guys are gonna know. That is it. It also says caliber 6mm here, another one of the requirements on there. On the sights itself, you have white little notch here in the back, dot in the front. It's going to be the same for both of these guys, the 17 Gen 4 and the Gen 3, and of course the serrations. What I do like, and I'm sure you guys can tell, little shininess in the plastic like you should get, but on the top it's this great satin kind of matte finish, and the etched in logos look really good. They're etched in. I mean, I own this pistol, the real one. I own a real G19, Glock 19 Gen 3. This one, and I will tell you, is darn close, almost near impossible to tell. I mean, even the round indicator, like if the round's in the chamber indicator here, on this one it's actually out. So if you look down, it's like, oh, I got a round in the chamber. Of course, that doesn't change whether or not you have the BB in there. Under the hood, same way, kind of break it down real quick, just take it apart, take the slide off, slide this thing out. Single spring slide. It does have, if you look, a little extra reinforcement here on the slide, like a second stage spring for a little extra recoil mitigation. Your hop-up adjustment wheel is right there on the spring itself. Pretty standard internals, no little switch for full auto. You're not gonna find that on this. It's just set up in here internally for semi-auto only. And the insides are kind of what you're used to. Put this aside, we're gonna look at the 17. There are some differences here. Instead of the textured grip you're gonna find on the 19 Gen 3, it's got this kind of like a texture here. This one has like this grid pattern, which is the Gen 4. It changes here around the grips, around the back strap. The back strap is different. You can kind of tell the texture there on both of those. I'll hold them up so you guys can get a close view of both of these. Sights on front and rear are gonna be the same on this. The 17 is a larger pistol. You can tell that by, I'll match up the frames here. You can see that the frame ends, and this one's got a little extra, about that much extra there, and then about that much extra down in the bottom. Full size, kind of a compact-ish frame here. Aside from that, the trigger with the integrated safety in it is the same. This one on the Gen 4 has the oversized mag release. If you look comparative to the two, big fat mag release, smaller mag release, again, matching what the real one is. On this one too, some of the things have changed. On the slide up, you're seeing different serial numbers. I don't know if you can kind of tell the serial number etched in on this one. It's actually a different number for the actual 17 slide itself. It says Glock, it says Gen 4 here, 17 Gen 4, Austria 9x19. Again, the numbers and everything on the barrel, and the serial number on the barrel matches the serial number on the slide. Also does have a Glock logo here, which is interesting, which isn't on the 17, and then the AT here. Aside from that, everything else is pretty much the same externally. I did mention the logo here on the bottom of the magazine plate. Also, if you notice the magazine plate, there's no fill valve here. So you have to take it, you have to put your finger here, you have to pull this little spring down a little bit and push this guy forward. It takes a little practice to break in the first time. And once you slide it, then you're gonna access to it. So a little hard to do on camera on demand, but not that hard to get in there. What that does though, when it's closed, keeps the dirt and dust out of getting in there. And then you fill in, you put gunk inside your mag, and it gives you that nice clean look, kind of like the real one. Glock logo here on the back, it says Austria, lots of logos. And again, that same matte, really good matte metal finish I found on the actual magazine itself. I did want to show you something on the inside of the 17. It's a little different than the 19. If you guys have ever seen a real 17, let me get this slide off here. It has a two-stage spring, meaning there's one spring on the inside and a second spring kind of sleeved over the outside. And I'm going to try to let you guys see here. This one is, of course, the longer slide, the 17, and it has the two-stage spring, meaning there's a spring guide that goes inside of this outer one, and the outer one starts here at this piece and goes down. It is designed the same way. Also has a silver piece on the end. This one has a plastic piece here. So what they did was they matched the new one, the Gen 4, to look internally like the Gen 4 of the real pistol. They even matched the spring guide, and that's something they didn't have to do on this. Also, the wheel adjustment on this one for your hop up is a little bit larger, a little bit more surface area to get in there. On this hop up wheel, if you guys look, kind of zoom in again on that, see there's a little difference there size wise of how much wheel's exposed. And I think probably the size of the wheel too. It looks like the size of this one might be a little bit bigger to actually allow maybe more fine tuning adjustments on the 17. I don't know how it's going to transfer or translate over onto the final one for shooting tests, but it does look a little bit bigger to me, so little few differences between these two. All right, one more thing I think you guys are gonna ask me on this. Well, Jonathan, what about the magazine? Since they look a little different inside, what's gonna happen? Here is the Glock 17 magazine, which is much longer than the Glock 19. You can kind of tell there, big difference in height. If I match the bottoms, the base is up there pretty nice and neat. See the difference in height? The 17 mag in the 19, works just fine. So if you want the extra round count of the 19 or the 17 mag in your 19, you get the one mag in with the 19. You can buy the 17 mags, put them in, hangs out just a little bit, but gives you a few extra shots to get out of it, which is nice. Adds you a couple extra rounds if that's the route you want to go with to get it. And so they aren't compatible between the two systems. You can interchange them all you want. If you want them all nice and clean and matching, great. If you want to go with the longer one, you can do that. Just buy the 17 mags as your replacement mags for the 19. Just because it's a shortcut video doesn't mean we're not going to take this thing out to the chrono. A lot of pistols come in that 330 range. This one is falling a little bit below that number on the chrono when it comes to feet per second, but it still shoots clean, it still shoots crisp, no problems, blowback feels really good. It's not a problem getting every shot out of both the mags, the 17 and the 19, because they have different round counts, 17 having a few extra rounds than the 19. No issue there making that happen on the chrono test, although, like I said, the larger reservoir in the actual 17 mag is going to give you a little bit more shots. Of course, that's going to be balanced out with the extra round count of the 17 mag versus the 19. But even with the 19 mag, no problem cycling this thing at all. So that's it, my quickie review, but full review of the new G17 Gen 4, G19 Gen 3 that are dropping here first in North America in the United States. As more of them drop, more of them come out, I will have reviews of all the officially licensed Glocks that are coming through Umarex and Elite Force in the United States, and of course Umarex worldwide. Anyway, I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. I know some of you guys are Glock lovers, some of you guys are Glock haters, some people are like, I don't care, is it too late, is it too much, is it perfect? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm all ears. I'll be down there joining the discussion with everybody. Until the next video, guys and gals, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.